Hey everybody, I want to welcome you out to the show today. Good morning to all. Good morning to my subscribers, and for the new people that have not checked out the show yet, welcome aboard. I'm going to change some things up today. It's going to be a little bit different than before. As you can see, I'm by myself today. I'll explain why in a bit. Before we get started, I want to go ahead and do the tattoo submission that I got. And this week, we got a tattoo from Nikki C. This tattoo is actually a tribute to her grandmom, and her grandpa used to call her grandmom Happy Ass, which is awesome all in itself. But this is why the pinup has the smiley face on her panties, which looks amazing, by the way. Great tattoo. It was done by a local artist, and folks, keep them coming, man. We got a couple more to go that have been sent in already. And, looking forward to seeing some more of these. And if you'd like to submit, go ahead and submit them at Soberontwowheels at gmail.com. And the two is actually spelled TWO. So Soberontwowheels at gmail.com. All right, so let's go ahead and jump on into this. Today we're going to talk about, having to pivot and make changes when you have challenges. So one of my challenges that I had this week was work, home life, and also, dealing with health problems with my mom. So unfortunately, I just totally blanked on booking somebody to do the interview this week until it was too late. I did reach out to somebody last minute, and unfortunately, his girlfriend has COVID, so that was a no-go. I don't want it, and I also, got to be real super careful now that I'm going up to see my mom in ICU. I don't want to be bringing anything up there, and or getting it and then not being able to see my mom. She went through an operation that needed to get done. She's been dealing with something for quite some time now. She went through the operation. Everything looked good. Doctor said everything looked great. It was great success. And then early in the morning, next day, I think it was the next day, they called and said, hey, we got to take her down to ICU. So my mom, her blood pressure was dropping dramatically. She was running like 70 over 40, and then her kidneys were shutting down. It's tough sometimes. It's not everything always works out the way you want it to work out. This is the first part of us, giving up control, right? But as you get some time under your belt, you need to learn how to pivot, make changes when you have to. It doesn't always work out the way you want it to work out sometimes. And, you can't plan for everything. Sometimes shit just happens. And, I want to make sure that I'm sticking to my commitment to you guys, and making sure that there's a video out every Wednesday, because to be honest with you, I don't have a huge viewership, but you guys that subscribed and took the time to do that, my commitment to you is that I'm going to put out a video every Wednesday. Whether I have 150 people view it or thousands, doesn't matter. Obviously I'd like more, but hey, what are you going to do, right? I think part of this too, for me, is when I first got sober, I was always curious or scared, let's say scared, worried about what was going to happen with my sobriety if something major happened in my life. Now, I'm not saying that everything's been, roses the whole time for the 8 years that I've been sober. But, I'm talking about major impact on my life. And, I was taught years and years and years ago to make sure that you had tools in your toolbox. Well, you know, right now, perfect example is just me reaching out to, brothers in the club, friends of mine, even reaching out to, my sister and just touching base with her. You know, um, I would like to think that I'm prepared for anything major like that, but only time will tell. And, I have people around me that have experienced major loss, and they were able to, keep going forward, not give up their sobriety or their clean date. And, I look at it and go, okay, man, I have people that around me that have led by example. And, you know, I'm going to keep moving forward. And, look, my mom is going to ultimately be okay. It's just a lot of things hit me at once this week. And, it sucked. It sucked. I genuinely like doing the interviews. I think there's a good amount of people out there that like seeing the interviews. I think that there's definitely some good knowledge to take away from the interviews and some cool stories. And at this point, I feel like I've given you guys a variety of, people with a lot of clean time and some short timers, male, female, club, not club. I would like to keep that going. So, right along with the same thing as the tattoo submission, if you're watching this show and you're a clean and sober rider, please feel free to reach out to me. Club, no club, doesn't matter. Reach out to me, whether it's on the page or soberontwoWheels@gmail.com. Get with me. Here's another thing that I need you guys to understand. If you're not from my area, it doesn't matter. I have the ability to go ahead and set up a Zoom conference where I can record that Zoom conference and have a nice interview, split screen. You can see both our faces and we can still interact and do what we got to do. Will it look the best? Not necessarily. Will it sound the best? Not necessarily. But I'll clean it up and do the best I can to make it presentable. And this way everybody can see it. So actually, I would like to put a challenge out to people that I know that live in California, Texas, Arizona. Trying to think of some other clean and sober clubs that I know. Even out towards like Pittsburgh, man. Some of you guys that might be watching this show, reach out to me, dude. Let's get this going. Let's get the Zoom thing going and make this happen, man. Let people in your area know that there's a clean and sober club in your area, or that there's other riders in your area that are clean and sober that might be looking for other people to ride. I know there's tons of Facebook groups out there that are like, hey, man, we got this, we got that, and that's all fine. But I think when you put a face to some of it, it makes a huge difference, man. That's part of changes as well. So me pivoting and making changes to try to do a better show is all part of it. I have plans to set up like an actual studio, get some better camera shots, better camera, better lighting, maybe take a little bit more time editing to make better changes. And, it's funny because I had a long discussion with my mom today about me getting clean and sober. And it was weird because, my mom's been supportive the whole time. She's one of the first people that were like, hey, man, you need to maybe think about getting clean and sober. But I'd said to her, I am a completely different person compared to 8 years ago. You know, spiritually, mentally, financially, not necessarily physically, but working on that. But, you know, even just the way I look at things now is completely different. You know, I try not to have that addictive personality where I have to just do something when I have a whim that comes into my head. I plan a little bit better. I focus a little bit better. There's multitude of things that I do better now, that clean and sober gave me. Being clean and sober gave me, or my sobriety gave me. I think it's healthy sometimes to take a step back and take a look at yourself and say, hey man, you know, look how much I've changed. Look at all the good things that have happened to me. And I think this is more for the people that are maybe new to the rooms and have a little bit of clean time under your belt. And I guarantee you there's a huge comparison day one to wherever you're at, 90 days, you know, a year. Those things are huge. I feel like, you know, mentally I'm able to think through things better than I've ever been able to before. I also, you know, handle rejection better than I did before, or loss better than I did before. Anger, definitely anger. So look, you know, I'm not perfect. I still get pissed off. I still have my moments where I'm like, God, I just want to punch somebody in the face. Do I do it? Absolutely not. I know better now. You know, back in the old days, yes. Oh, absolutely yes. I'm a completely different person than I was back then. You know, a lot of that's growth and growing up. And I think I actually talked about this on my last podcast, but you know, when you're going through this at a young age, you know, drinking and drugging, those are the times where you're supposed to be like learning how to adult, or learning how to deal with emotions and all that other stuff. And, you know, all those years we were numbing it, putting it away, squashing it down. So maybe we have this like delayed thing where, you know, hey, if I hadn't done all that, maybe in my late 20s, I would have figured all this out. I don't know. I don't know what the answer is. It's just interesting now that I can actually take a look at myself sometimes and say, hey, you know, you're doing all right, man. You know, I want the show to be successful just for the purpose of, you know, introducing our world to a whole new group of people. I know right now it seems like a lot of my subscribers are, you know, people that are already in our lifestyle. And I hope at some point this breaks out into the other world, to the normal people. Because, you know, I think there's value, not only on the getting clean and sober part, but also in the motorcycle part. I think there's been some great conversations that have been had here. And, you know, as far as motorcycle stuff goes, you know, we don't get into protocol and all that other stuff, man. That's not my forte. You know, I also, you know, it's just not something I want to get involved with. Let's put it that way. You know, and it's just, I think this has benefit all the way around, but we shall see. You know, it's funny because I saw a meme today. The biggest mistake in life is thinking we have time left. Think about that for a second. I could do that tomorrow. I'll get to it tomorrow. I'll do that next week. You know, there's thousands upon thousands of people that have said that didn't get to do it the next day or the next week. If you're really thinking about getting clean and sober, do it now. Go to a meeting. Just walk into any of them. Look them up. hundreds of meetings all over the place. Google it. There's, plenty of rehabs to go to. Do it. If you've been thinking about it and you really want to do it, do it. Go to meetings, get a sponsor, get a home group, keep going to meetings. Wash, rinse, repeat, man. I've had plenty of people on this show that have proven that this is a success. Plenty of people on this show that I guarantee you, if you looked at them while they were running and gunning, you would have never thought they were going to be here where they are today. So, think about that for a minute. Also, understand we don't control everything. And sometimes you got to pivot and change. Sometimes it sucks. Sometimes you just kind of glides along and there's no big deal. So, with that being said, I hope you enjoyed my little rant that I had today. We will get back to our regularly scheduled interviews next week. I do have a couple lined up. Hopefully there won't be any gaps. I am truly sorry about that. I hope you all understand. And please, if anybody's interested in the show, being a interviewee, or if you have a tattoo you'd like to submit, email me, Soberontwowheels@gmail.com. And with that being said, I hope you all have a great day, and I'll see you all next week. Thank you.